Hey guys, this is the second part of my favorite YouTubers edition. This is Tex of the Black Pants Legion, who does BattleTech lore videos. Not feeling the best in the world, but I want to try to finish this so that we've got something to post tonight. And we've already seen part one, which was basically a history of the Inner Sphere and the politics and history of wars that led through the Age of War. And now we're at part three, Callan Industries and their introduction of the Rifleman, the second generation battle mech that would go on to last for 500 years and become the preeminent anti-air mech and one of the preeminent fire support mechs. Let's see what they've got for us.
Callan Industries was an established and respected multinational military hardware manufacturer, profiting vastly from the position it occupied in the military logistics chain. With strong contracts within the hegemony and beyond, Callan Industries was just another second-tier supplier for the hegemony armed forces. What that means in real-world terms is their chief product was supplies, parts, spares, and tools. From ammunition to communications equipment, Callan Industries proudly made whatever components as required for the burgeoning military-industrial complex. However, with the rapid escalation of battle mech technology and likely mad at not being in.
Excellent real-world story. During the gold rush, the California gold rush, there was a man, and his name escapes me right now because, again, not feeling the best I ever felt, but he didn't try to go out and mine gold for himself. He went around to every hardware, dry goods, mercantile, and supply store in the area of the gold rush and bought every shovel, spade, pickaxe, sift, you name it. Anything you could use to dig a hole and, used to find gold, this guy bought them all up. He had him 2 little vials of gold dust, and he printed up flyers. And when he was finally ready, he goes out in the middle of the street and he starts screaming, "Gold! Gold found in the American River!" And starts throwing his pamphlets all over everywhere and waving his vials of gold dust in everybody's face. And as I said, he himself never mined for gold, but when everybody and his brother from Central Europe to Southeast Asia came running to California to try and find gold, they ran into this guy who was selling shovels and spades and pickaxes that he bought for $5 for $25 or $30. And given that, he owned every shovel, spade, and pickaxe within a 30-mile radius of where, they struck gold. Well, if you wanted to dig for gold, you had to buy his $30 shovel. So Callan knew what they were doing.
On the Mackey Consortium from the get-go, Callan decided to go ahead with their own battle mech design. For in an age of war, those who make weapons are soon to be wealthy. It was 2504, and they began with a simple idea. They found a niche that none had adequately explored in battle mech technology. If they were to manufacture a fire support battle mech that could, in theory, deal with any number of threats at range and then equip it with a targeting system second to none, they would have a unique product in a world that paid vast sums for just such a thing. It wasn't going to be just another artillery support mech or a close-range brawler, but a dedicated platform for precise, long-range fire support that could not only sweep the skies of pesky aerospace assets, something sorely lacking in those early years, but something that could offer precision firepower to any combat lance. In 2504, at great expense, their prototype was presented. Codenamed Falcon Gray, the prototype passed all trials and was accepted into inventory as the RFL-1N Rifleman. It was designed to be a robust, simple, cost-effective weapon with a niche battlefield role. It was the first mech of its type, something
When the answer to the question of air support, no. Okay, this is somewhat different than the standard Destroid Macros version of this unit that you see. Normally it's over and under barreled weapons. Autocannons over large lasers, AC5 over a large laser. This just maybe it still does have the large lasers here, and also has the two torso mounted medium lasers here and here. And here are the autocannons, obviously, but it's very different looking. It doesn't have the over and under barrels, and as an old timer like me, I miss the over and under barrels. I want the over and under barrels. All right, let's continue.
Not a scout, nor artillery, nor Mackie derivative. It was something new. As with most new weapons, it would have significant problems in this early production.
Big old headlamps.
For one, the RFL-1N Rifleman had mass overheating problems, which resulted in rapid corrections.
That's true. It's a hot-ass mech.
Some years later,
runs
which replaced
damn
lasers
hot
with autocannons. But that then introduced new issues, namely ammunition consumption and endurance issues.
It does not carry enough ammo.
But there were none who could deny its advanced targeting systems were ahead of its time, and absolutely effective. So effective, mind you, that the Rifleman's Garrett DJ-2 targeting
Warhammer, right there. That's the old school Warhammer.
System has lasted nearly half a millennium of combat
Rifleman,
without significant
right
improvement.
There.
Yeah,
I remember this diagram.
It's that damn good.
Are they going to show us the old school Rifleman?
To put more firepower in the air.
Oh, I remember this piece of art.
Celebration. It's a real showstopper on the battlefield. With
there it is, right there. There it is.
Let's dig into what makes a rifleman a rifleman.
Yeah, that's the old school Rifleman right there with the over and under barrels. And this one, you can't easily see the lasers. It's got the two giant headlamps. Because night fighting is a thing. Anyway, but yeah, that's the old school Rifleman based on the Macros Destroid, and it makes me happy.
Go over its history and design. The RFL-1N Rifleman was a prototype pushed into use far before it was refined. The hegemony wanted more max, and had bought them to fill the air defense and fire support role while hoping the kinks would be worked out long before they would ever be used. And as said, it had some issues, namely overheating. In fact, it could cook a pilot faster than an industrial oven if pushed, but it worked. Another issue was that it carried very little armor, with the rear torso armor being near paper thin.
Oh, wow.
And it lacked...
This is the prototype, and it's 10 tons lighter. It carries more armor, but it's primitive armor, so it's crap. The engine's junk. Oh. No autocannons. Very warm, much hot. Yeah. That's something that never, ever goes away. It's always very light in the armor. And very, very, very hot running back. Okay. This is why I love Tex. He's funny as fuck.
With a cruising speed of barely 64 kph. While not exactly terrible in this early era of mechs, it would stand out as a significant concern in future generations.
It's about 40 miles an hour to
Overwatch platform against enemy aircraft and providing fire support to advancing units, it excelled. But as a ready weapon of war, it was deficient. With primitive armor and engines, and at a mere 50 tons, the original RFL-1N Rifleman was a medium mech by modern designation. The original prototype and initial production run had 2 large lasers and 2 medium lasers. It was an idea made manifest and certainly had room for many improvements. However, it was unique in one very interesting way. It lacked lower arm and hand actuators. This meant its ability to melee was limited.
Yeah.
As well, either through cost-cutting measures or poor design, the Rifleman could only rotate 40 degrees off-center in either torso twist arc. The designers, either through laziness or creativity, overcame this by engineering a quick fix. The Rifleman's arms can turn a quick 180 degrees and engage targets behind it. This was revolutionary,
Which it
and
can
a tactic
still
which
do
has
to
been
this
used to
day.
good effect since, as a Rifleman can surprise an ambusher by turning its full firepower behind it and then blasting away until it boils over. However, with only 12 heat sinks and 2 large lasers, the original Rifleman production run was a combat-capable oven at best.
Yeah.
Here's where we get into history again for a brief moment. In 2556, the Treaty of Geneva was signed. This resulted in mass proliferation of mech designs across the inner sphere, and more or less the end of the Cameron blacklist, if not in fact but practice. From this, we see an update to the Rifleman. The RFL-2N was a noticeable improvement, for the primitive engine and armor was replaced with more advanced and contemporary component designs. 50 years of R&D since the initial version had resulted in significant technological advances, and they were quickly incorporated throughout to bring the design to its maximal potential. With components now in some cases half the size of the prototype version, the extra room was put to use, and the large lasers were replaced with PPCs. The new Rifleman also incorporated 2 additional medium lasers. With 2 PPCs and 4 medium lasers, the Rifleman was significantly upgunned, or at least allow the mech warrior to put hurt on others until help arrived. But here's where the story gets really interesting, because the Rifleman has derivatives. I'm not talking advancements of the core design alone, or technological evolution of components, but different models in the Rifleman family of mechs altogether. This is where the design branches into parallel developments. By 2720, the Rifleman was in service for the Star League Defense Force, and their royal regiments wanted something special. So, for the express purposes of pleasing the client, Callan Industries built the Rifleman 2. That is to say, the RFL-3N-2. The Rifleman 2 was an 80-ton variant. That's right, the Rifleman 2 was an assault mech, and either to appease the Royal Division's request or pad their expense account, Callan ensured it had the best technology possible throughout. From Indo-steel structure and an XL engine offering, it had a hell of a lot of firepower with a pair of LBX-10 autocannons.
Oh my God! I've never heard of this, and it's terrifying. Indo-steel chassis, 12 tons of armor. Yeah, still has a top speed of about 65 kph. Ooh, 2 LB-10X autocannons, 2 large pulse lasers, and 2 medium lasers. It's just like they basically was like, okay, let's crank up the autocannons and the pulse laser and the over and under right arm cannons. 28 heat sinks. 10, 20. Dear God, this thing doesn't overheat. It does not overheat. Oh my God, it's horrible. It's and when I say horrible, I mean it's terrifying. Oh my God. I've never seen this, and it's wow. Jesus Christ.
Large pulse lasers, as well as medium lasers and a Beagle active probe. It had double heat sinks, and aside from being a sky broom for pesky aircraft, it made itself a viable command platform. Further, its armor was noticeably improved at this point, with Callan's premier line of Callan Royal Star. And this takes us back to the main design chassis, which was improved with the RFL-3 series. No longer a 50-ton chassis, the Rifleman was now a 60-ton mech.
And this is the basic Rifleman.
End of heavies. The RFL-3 comes in multiple marks and is an improvement on the original design series traced back to the RFL-1 Rifleman, and not at all related with the Rifleman-2. Throughout, they're universally hailed as among the best of the design. Most notably is the RFL-3N, which is what we come to understand as the
This is making me want to play
variant
BattleTech
today.
again.
It was designed to use standardized, low-cost, and low-tech materials in order to be easily mass-produced. It boasted a Pitman 240 engine and was armed with 2 large lasers and 2 AC-5 autocannons. In addition, it had a pair of medium lasers for close-in support. It was, however, being...
This is so hot running, it's ridiculous. To speak in game terms, heat sinks are your capacity to dissipate heat. 10 heat sinks mean you can dissipate 10 points of heat. This mech just balls out, running as fast as it can, firing its autocannons, its large lasers, its medium lasers, just going, balls out, everything it's got, generates 24 points of heat. At 14 points of heat, your mech is trying, at 14 points of heat, like from 0 to plus 14, your mech is trying to shut down. It's overheating to the point where it's trying to automatically cut itself off for safety reasons. And that's what happens if you unload with this thing, with everything you've got, moving it at top speed. You have to fill the cockpit with ice.
Devoid of advanced tech, easily overwhelmed by heat output, but, well, heat sinks are expensive and pilots are replaceable. It was also poorly armored at 7.5 tons of armor. This was a cheap design made for the final push on Terra
Particularly
during
the
Ameris
back.
coup, and it was necessarily cheap and uncomplicated as a result. From a logistics standpoint,
Go
it's
up
a
behind
fine
it and hit it
design.
in the back with a
From
baseball bat
repair
through the
standpoint,
back armor.
they're cheap as hell and reliable. If you have to get into it, well, I'd advise hiding behind something and staying the hell away from the front line. And the story gets stranger from there, because while we discuss the branch of the Rifleman 2, we have to discuss something else to come out of the Ameris Civil War. Yes, there's another and far rarer variant design, inspired by but completely separate from the Rifleman 1 and 2 series mech designs. Okay, I've said this before, but I need to say it again. I'll preface my argument with this. Stephen Ameris was a weird guy. Yeah, I've covered the bib thing before. Yes, the bib. That is a bib. I've also covered the sun laser thing too. Yes, Venus was once completely habitable and nice thanks to a solar shade. Ameris tried to turn it into a doom laser to stop the SLDF fleet, but because this plan is absolutely batshit and poorly thought out, the sunshade broke and Venus is ruined for all time. So, what have I told you in addition to his many other faults? Ameris had this problem a lot of despots and tyrants do. They believe in wonder weapons, ultimate iterations of weapon systems, and that bigger is better. And being surrounded by enemies slowly tightening the noose on your dying empire, despots and dictators tend to go all in for expensive, foolish, and utterly insane weapon systems. It is from this place of poor engineering knowledge and wanting bigger rather than better weapon systems
So many comments I could make, but I don't want to get blocked.
that you get some of the oddest weapons of history. It is from this place where you get such things as the completely useless Matar, appropriately dubbed Ameris' Folly, a rarely, if ever, mobile weapon system that struggles with virtually any task put before it, which was then later copied into the absolute personification of please hit me with artillery because I don't move too good and I'm visible from orbit mech that was the Stone Rhino. I'm sorry. I meant to say the mech which is the personification of compensation for personal inadequacy that is the Stone Rhino. Pardon, my notes had that in the margins. So, Ameris believed in ultimate weapons that were dangerously impractical, wasteful, and above all imaginative in the way a child's mind is. Except, as with all madmen, sometimes through sheer luck or encouraging genius on the part of the designer, they get something right. The Rifleman 3 was one of those things. The Rifleman 3 was a beast, a monster, a titan of the battlefield with a very specific mission profile: ambush. And where many clamor for the ballistic excess of the Annihilator and worship it
seen this in my life,
few know of the mayhem of the Rifleman 3. Let me put it to you.
Okay, people talk about, the retconning of Warhammer. Yeah. The overall timeline of Battletech remains the same, but shit like this motherfucker right here keeps popping up randomly. And you're like, oh, wait, did we get invaded by aliens? No, wait, it's a new variant of another mech that you've known for decades. And what the hell is this damn thing? Okay, all right, it's the Rifleman 3. That don't look a damn thing in the world like a Rifleman, but there it is. All right, go on, Tex. Let's see what you got to say.
You this way. What's 90 tons?
Oh, got it.
4 Gauss rifles.
It has no armor. Oh, God, it's slow. Oh, my God, is it slow? It has a top speed of 35 kph. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Oh, this thing's horrible. It's horrible. It basically can't move faster than 35 kph. But it has 4 Gauss rifles. It doesn't need to move. It can kill your ass from I don't know, one end of a state to another one, and it will never overheat. And the fucker can cloak. Oh my God. And it fights like Florida man called to jury duty. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
A fully active null signature stealth system, and was designed to surprise, ambush, and then destroy any assaulting force. The Rifleman 3 is or was that very monster, and before you heap adoration on it, know this. 1, it had enough ammo for 4 volleys only, before needing to retreat and rearm.
Oh God. Four volleys. So 4 Gauss rifles. It's only carrying 16 shots. 2 tons of ammo. Ugh. Okay, at the one point, it has tremendous capacity and terrifying stuff, and then at the opposite end of the extreme, it's like, oh God, how broken is this damn thing? It's a glass cannon. It has no armor. It's slow as fuck. On the other hand, it has 4 sledgehammers, but it can only sling them 4 times each. And you can't see the damn thing.
2, it was as slow as an urban mech. And 3, it had only 10.5 tons of armor for its 90-ton mass. But regardless of these obvious shortcomings, in its intended battlefield role, it was impressive. It is now known that there was only the single experimental prototype. It was one of many last-ditch weapons Amaris had envisioned in the twilight of his Imperial delusions. What is known for certain is that it was destroyed during the Battle for Terra in the closing act of the Amaris Civil War, entombed and forgotten among the wreckage of a ruined city. Its rediscovery highlights what can happen when a madman gets something absolutely right. In its first and only combat action, barely assembled, barely running, the prototype downed 9 SLDF battle mechs before becoming incapacitated, either by the battle itself, a lack of ammunition, or equipment breakdown. I feel, personally, that it's a design worthy of a remake. But I'm no captain of industry, and my stock portfolio is far below being influential. While the Rifleman 3 existed briefly, its mark on history was interesting, to say the least. But as for the Rifleman and their various 1 and 2 series models, the story continues. With the exodus and collapse of Star League, it is known that the SLDF took their Royal Division Rifleman 2s and quite a few riflemen in various makes along for the ride. In time, the clans would make their own version, which is a significant upgrade of the Rifleman and accordingly supremely more expensive. The Rifleman 2C is a 65-ton mech with 4 large pulse lasers. There are variants from this base model that swap the lasers for ultra-auto cannons, heavy large lasers, and anything else clan tech.
4 large pulse lasers. It runs a little hot, just a little hot, but not enough to make it a bad mech. It's still hitting like a sledgehammer, and it's moving not great. It's not moving great. It's slow, but it's basically going to reach out and touch someone, and it's going to sweep the skies. Yeah.
It could slap into it. Amusingly, it is still lightly armored. After the Exodus, across the inner sphere, the Riflemen served admirably in the Succession Wars. However, being a lightly armored design, it did not do so well. With the declining number of mechs available, the Rifleman was often placed into frontline conflict by necessity alone, a place where something that takes hits poorly should never be. What was originally an anti-aircraft and battlefield sniper being forced into point-blank contact naturally led to significant loss. It wasn't until the rediscovery of Lost Tech that the Rifleman was again spoken of in a meaningful way. Ultra-auto cannons and double heat sinks go a long way to increasing its battlefield viability. Cellular ammunition storage equipment added to its survivability. Up-armoring became common, with the availability of lighter and stronger armor, and a few from that era survived to become legends in their own right. Gray Norton of the Great Death Legion piloted a Succession Wars era RFL-3N with a lighter 180 series engine. He added 3 jump jets and removed the medium lasers to make way for more heat sinks and more armor.
Hold on, let's back that up a bit.
What was originally an anti-aircraft and battlefield sniper being forced into point-blank contact naturally led to significant loss. It wasn't until the rediscovery of Lost Tech that the Rifleman was again spoken of in a meaningful way. Ultra-auto cannons and double heat sinks go a long way to increasing its battlefield viability. Cellular ammunition storage equipment added to its survivability. Up-armoring became common, with the availability of lighter and stronger armor, and a few from that era survived to become legends in their own right. Gray Norton of the Great Death Legion piloted a
Yeah. Gray Norton, so far as I am aware, did not fight with the Grey Death Legion unless they have retconned that. He was a Solaris gladiator. He was a spy. He is the principal antagonist of the first, not the first Battletech novel, but the first big Battletech novel by Mike Stackpole, Warrior on Guard. And yeah, as he describes it, that mech's a fucking beast. Yeah, this would actually make this don't make no damn sense. Unless, as mentioned, it is not a standard Rifleman 3N. I thought it was a 3N. He was doing pretty damn good with it being a 3N, but yeah, as far as I know, Gray Norton did not work for the Grey Death Legion. Now I got to reread that book.
Succession Wars era RFL-3N with a lighter 180 series engine. He added 3 jump jets and removed the medium lasers to make way for more heat sinks and more armor.
No! That damn thing did not have jump jets.
He would go on to be the most famous rifleman pilot of all time. He won 7 Solaris 7 championships
I don't care. The damn thing didn't have jump jets.
in the damn thing, and earned his mech the name Legend Killer.
Tex, what you talking about?
Cranston Snord of Snord's Irregulars helps
Oh,
one of his own,
yes.
Shorty Sneed, build a rifleman that's more a Franken-mech. Why? Well, Snord's Irregulars is weird. I mean, they are really, really weird. Not bad, just weird.
Yep.
So the RFL-3N of Snord's Irregulars fame has a Phoenix Hawk head, a Warhammer right arm, and parts from an Archer built into it. It had a PPC, an LRM-20, 3 medium lasers, and 14 heat sinks. Well, look, Snord's Irregulars is weird like that. If you think this is the weirdest thing they've done, I can assure you it is not. As far as other influences go, Callan wasn't content to merely build variations of their own design. They saw the design defects of the Rifleman and built a solution for those with the money to buy it. They identified the principal flaws as the Rifleman being too lightly armored.
Let's take a brief pause, guys. Be right back. Okay, we're back. And nobody's perfect. Fuck you, Callan Industries.
With not enough ammunition storage for longer engagements and definitely running too hot. So they went back to the drawing board. What they ended up with is something else entirely. The Jaeger mech. Essentially a Rifleman Plus. It's an anti-aircraft DACA platform able to maul an Air Force and have enough ammunition left over for the next one. Put into production, it notably served well in the Clan Invasion, with House Kurita seeing the most use of them in fire support.
That's odd, because that's a damn Davian mech. Like, from start to last, to finish to start. The Jaeger is a definitely stereotypical Davian mech. I mean, right there's a Davian symbol. And, you know, they make the damn things, although Kurita took Independence weaponry away from them in 3039. But anyway, I don't love Jaeger mechs. It's like they took all the really good aspects of the Rifleman and made them better. And took all the really bad aspects of the Rifleman and made them worse. It is hyper ammo dependent. It has tissue paper armor. And yeah, it's an ideal fire support mech. It'll shoot you from across the battlefield with those long and medium range autocannons, a couple of medium lasers for fire support, you know, down here at the crotch of the mech. But yeah, it basically will get killed by something, you know, 10 tons lighter than it is. Yeah. Not a favorite.
An Air Force and have enough ammunition left over for the next one. Put into production, it notably served well in the Clan Invasion, with House Kurita seeing the most use of them in fire support.
Okay, that was after 3039.
The Rifleman is an interesting mech design, in that it's absolutely not suitable for anything other than its intended role. Generation by generation, the Rifleman has evolved to better fit the need of the battlefield role of fire support or anti-aircraft operations, and sometimes both. Throughout design iterations, it has had its problems with armor, heat, and ammunition capacity. Throughout its long production run, every attempt to fix one of these problems has either increased its price to make it unattractive for mass production, or resulted in new, more annoying problems. The Rifleman was built in multiple production runs, ranging from the assault mech, which was the Rifleman 2, to the one-off ambusher that was the Rifleman 3. Throughout, the design philosophy has been muchly the same.
Seen that right there.
Niche combat roles fulfilled as best able. The strong suit of the Rifleman has always been its incredible targeting system, one that, as noted, has lasted for 500 years without major improvement. Reliable, durable, and accurate as hell, the targeting systems of the Rifleman are something that, if anything, should be a copied component for any mech wishing to dish out accurate fire at range. The Rifleman is, by many measurements, aside from the 2, 2C, and 3 variants, which make a minority of the total production run, a cheap and reliable design. Considering you only need a few of them in any battle force to deal with VTOLs and aerospace threats, it's even more financially attractive from a procurement standpoint. The most common version, the RFL-3N, is priced at 4.8 million C-bills. That's only 4/5 the cost of a catapult, 1/5 the cost of a Loki, 1/4 the price tag of a Vulture, and half the cost of an Atlas. Hell, the damn thing is cheaper than a Dragon. It occupies a comfortable 3.2 to 3.3 on the Urban Mech Purchasing Index on any given day. And that's made cheaper, as stated again, as you're not buying these by the dozen. The Rifleman is a purpose-designed mech for second-line combat. It is designed to swat at aircraft and bring fire support from a distance when needed. It's in the same class as many other long-range designs, but I feel it's judged unfairly. Too often, it is compared to other mechs used in close-range engagement. The Rifleman wears the stigma it acquired from the Succession Wars, when barely competent mech warriors would drive anything into anything, circle at point-blank range, and press buttons until one of them stopped moving. By necessity, sadly, this was often the case, as the severely depleted resources of the Inner Sphere through the course of the Succession Wars meant that any mech was better than no mech. And so the Rifleman was, more often than not, pressed into frontline service. And there, they exploded. A mech with light armor and fair to middling speed would naturally be seen as an underwhelming, if not ill-omened design in these circumstances. But those were truly dark ages, governed by idiots. And while opinions of the Rifleman range from limited if niche combat platform to rapid-fire bullet hose murder machine, especially in a modernized rotary autocannon configuration, it does have its purpose, a very specific purpose. And when used in that way, it is an absolutely effective tool of war. Remember always, a mech is a tool, and the Rifleman used as intended is a better tool than most. But for those who dismiss it as a limited and stupid design, let me remind you of one last old Terran saying: if it's stupid but works, it isn't stupid.
Okay, he's still talking. Now notice, we're just about done and we've still got like 21 minutes of stuff left.
This lecture
hang
would
with
be
me.
impossible without the gracious support of you, the student body, and your donations to this less than reputable entertainment venue. You've been great in your support despite our last classroom burning down, the dropship classroom as we fled, and now a jump ship's abandoned mini-mall being used as a lecture theater. Rest assured, your C-bills are what keep us afloat, because mercenary work is unpredictable at best. I thank you kindly for your support, for the Inner Sphere is a scary place, and I'll take any vote of confidence I can get. Know as well that this lecture would have been impossible without the incredible gifts of our honored guests and talented professionals who have thrown in to this series with great gusto. Lastly, I want to thank our artistic contributors who, through their vast talent and keen eye, have managed to find and restore some of the rarest images and historical documents necessary to further our study of the Inner Sphere and beyond. Their expertise is appreciated, and know that they are mercenaries at heart, and that they are certainly hireable for your work should you choose to offer them your patronage. I sure have, and I'm glad to have done so. As for now, the next step is Van Zant, the only planet I know to get scrubbed off the star charts out of pure spite. God, it will be good to be finally home. I wonder if the local wideband station is still running the regional music around the clock.
This is the captain of the Queen Bee to all hands. Queen Bee captain to all hands. Jump is complete. This stop Van Zandt. Next stop is none of your business. All presently attached dropships may disembark when ready. If your dropship has fallen off while in transit, I'd like to remind you we did ask you to pay for docking collar insurance. Also, somebody tell Professor Tex to get his class out of my mini mall because that's where we play laser tag. Queen Bee out.
Fucking jump captains thinking they rule space. All right, let's head out. Class dismissed.
Okay, I'll go ahead and warn you from here on out, it gets weird.
I did my part and I managed to just hold the line. The bastards kept coming, heading us time and again. I'm now back in Van Zandt and planners, they are to blame. I managed to do my part and I just can't complain. War's always hell, but there's always canopus cocaine. I was invincible, never once gave in to pain. But I'm right back in Van Zandt and planners are sure to blame. Urban Mac is above everything awfully slow. And there's one thing about it that you probably know. An AC-10 don't do anything without good aim. So I'm square back in Van Zandt, and this time I sure am to blame.
Hey, Discount Dan here, and boy do I have something for you. You ever do something bad and need to send a gift to somebody to make good for your fuck up? But with all the gifts out there, what do you get them? Why not trust a stranger with that decision? For the right amount of money, I can be that stranger. I'm the best stranger you know. Totally. So here's how it works. Firstly, you send me money and a name. Then you tell me what you did. Then I decide what basket to send them. And friends, let me tell you, I got all kinds of baskets. Accidentally kill the wrong target in your half-ass assassination plot and want to say sorry? Boom. Discount Dan condolence basket, full of jam. People like jam. I made the jam. It's pretty good. Nothing says sorry like baked goods, which you'll get with the sorry I burned down your place of business, here's some store-brand bread in a big bag basket. There's even a note on the side that says you're sorry, so you're automatically forgiven. That's how it works. I promise. But what if you were the wrong party? No worries. Revenge baskets. What they think are avocados might be grenades. Probably. Maybe there's a nuke in there. Look, Ren and Nuke went out of business and I had to move my stock elsewhere. So my loss is your gain. I got hornet baskets, bee baskets, baskets chock full of thermite. That's right, I got baskets for every conceivable situation. Remember, next time you need a basket sent, whether condolence, revenge, or congratulations, call me, Discount Dan, and I'll absolutely take your money, guaranteed, because I care. Oh, I almost never mix up like the condolence and the revenge baskets up. Like, almost never. Don't worry about it. Send me the money. We're good. All right.
The Draconis Combine.
偉大なるドラッグレイン業大統領。私はシュタインのスカウト分隊を破壊するために最強の特殊部隊を編成しました。素晴らしい。紹介してもらおうか。ああ。純次郎がドラゴンを操縦しています。最も優れたメックであります。おお、素晴らしい。ほんまに素晴らしいやん。そしてヒルガドラゴンを操縦しています。最も優秀なメックであります。
The signature mech of the Draconis Combine.
さらに元気がドラゴンを操縦しています。最も優れたメックであります。はあ、その優秀なパイロットはいかなる方法で基本的に 立ち向かうのだ。まあ、ご心配なさならず。彼らは風のように速く、誰も止めることはできま
Where's
せ
the
ん。
fourth member of the Lance?
さらに、
Okay.
4番目のパイロットはハンマーの役割を
Lances
担
are
ってい
four
ます。
mechs.
どういう意味？
It's gonna be a dragon.
ああ。
Oh god.
フレデリックはアトラスを操縦しています。
Hallo? Ist das hier das geheime Treffen der Auftragsmörder? Sie haben dich durchschaut. Beginne mit dem Stampfen. Jawohl, Kommandant.
Okay, for those of you not in on the joke, Steiner forces are ridiculously top heavy. They have a preponderance of heavy and assault mechs, which means they're not much good for recon and rapid strikes. But oh god in heaven, if you're doing an assault or defense, it's gonna hurt. But yeah, there's a joke that a Steiner Scout Lance is going to be a lance of 4 100-ton Atlas assault mechs.
Ich hab euch alle zum Narren gehalten. Ich bin eigentlich ein Steiner. Ich liebe es, hinterhältig zu sein. Deine Hilfsmäßigkeit ist bewundernswert.
The Combine is Japanese and Steiner is German. Just a couple of minutes of nonsense. Yeah.
Hello, this is Comstar. We would like to formally apologize for this misjump. Surely a computer error has resulted in the delay of your transit, the diversion of your jump ship, and the jamming of your comms. The vessel you are seeing now is for all verifiable legal purposes, not a warship. This is not currently, even by creative interpretation, a black op or false flag operation. For distinctly legal purposes, everything that follows is now a very legal action taken legally by us, your trusted communications provider. Your engines shutting down and computers crashing have nothing to do with Starleague override codes, which we certainly do not possess. Remember, we're here to help you. Now please, don't worry at all about the impending imminent seizure of your vessel by the Plausible Deniability Comguard's Customer Service Commando team, currently en route. Don't worry, we will be with you shortly. Please assume the customer service submission position as found in page 438 of your service agreement, and stand by for compliance measures. Thank you for choosing Comstar.
Yeah, that's something that would totally fucking happen. Again, if you're not down with the lore, Comstar was originally the telecommunications company. May not be the right term, because I think they were actually part of the actual Starleague government. But anyway, they handled faster than light communications between the planets, the nations of the inner sphere. After the Ameris Civil War, they evolved into a quasi-religious organization that was dedicated to preserving technology and began to see themselves, at least partly, because it was factions within the organization, with reforming the Star League and raising humanity up to a new golden age, according to the tenets of Comstar. To that end, they preserved all kinds of technology that were believed to be lost by the rest of the industry, including giant fuck-all warships that nobody else had, And anything that even looked like it might be an example of Lost tech or Star League tech, yeah, they jumped on that quick. So, yeah, this made perfect sense.
Hello, everybody. Duncan Fisher here. I've been invited to tell you about the wonderful tourism opportunities on Solaris 7. First off, we have legal murder. What?
That doesn't sound inviting. You know?
It's true. I mean,
didn't say it wasn't true. It just...
Okay, fine. I won't mention the murder.
Okay, all right.
We here on Solaris 7 would like to cordially invite you to visit to watch our gladiator games. Why, yes, you too can watch barely literate mech warriors duke it out for pennies on the dollar. Sometimes they explode.
Okay, Duncan, listen, I mean, whether they are barely literate or not, you know, I mean, it's not like they'd be reading this if they were. Point being, maybe we should just try to keep it a little bit more professional, you know?
I was gonna mention the fact that we dress up homeless people and make them fight for our enjoyment.
No.
But that's a big seller, Jim.
Look, it's really hot in the cockpit. Okay, you can't go in there wearing.
You're not telling me anything I don't know.
I know. Just they're not barely dressed up homeless. They're not just. Oh God.
Okay, once more from the top. Take whatever. We're rolling. Okay. Come on down to Solaris. We've got hamburgers and only a reasonable amount of organized crime. Hello there, mech fans. Duncan Fisher here. You ever wonder what an autocannon does to a human body? Do you? It isn't pretty, I tell you. Oh, no. But that's not really the best part of Solaris. Come to Solaris. That's where the whiskey flows like water. Holy shit, Kyle. I am ready. That was the best idea I've ever had. 5 minutes, and I did some of that powder. I am fucking ready. Here we go. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Ready, Diane. Let's go. Hello, everybody. This is Duncan Fisher, and I'm going to talk to you about the way we just blow shit up for entertainment here. Oh, fuck, it's fucking rad. Okay, let's do the piece of shit first. Okay, what are we talking? Violence! Yes, violence! We have so much fucking violence here. Did I ever tell you about my war wounds? I can show you right now. Let me just unbuckle my...
It's audio.
I think I gotta lay down.
No, what you get? Hey, Dunk, you all right? You kind of zontal in there a little bit. Okay, Jimmy, can we get a PA to go in there and help him get back up?
Oh, Duncan Fisher here. To talk about fucking give me the Steiner aspirin tablets. It's just enough painkiller to cover up the 8 scotches and bump or 2 of the Canopus Battle Power. Steiner aspirin.
Jesus God.
Life's excesses.
Wow.
Okay, Phil. I'm yes. Yeah. Get your hands off me. I've told you before. Okay.
Jimmy, Duncan, we still have to do the commercial. We're not quite done.
Wait,
yet.
what commercial?
The Solaris Tourism Board.
Oh, for Christ's sake. It's Solaris. Everyone knows what Solaris is. You don't have to advertise Solaris. Look, if you like explosions, mechs, and mech explosions, you go to Solaris. If you like gambling, you go to Solaris. Nobody comes here for fucking corn dogs, cotton candy, and hugs. This planet runs on goddamn murder. Televised 40K superfluous high-definition HPG broadcast murder. If that isn't good enough for you, you can jam it up your ass.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty good.
Hey, how's everything going in here?
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, that's the sponsor. He's just stopping by.
Oh, really? The sponsor? Hey, Mr. Sponsor, thanks for hiring me. Here, listen to my newest catch line on Solaris Tourism. Here we go. Come to Solaris. It's full of murder. Yeah, murder. Welcome to Solaris 7, where if you're good at killing, you don't go to jail. You get paid.
Huh? What do you think?
That might be a bit much.
Just pay me, you fuck. I gotta go play Shadowrun.
That was pretty good. Solaris 7 is ostensibly a stoner planet, but it's nominally neutral because all 5 houses maintain a faction there. Comstar maintains a faction there, and its big claims to fame are organized gladiatorial mech combat and organized crime and espionage.
Oh, there's money made aplenty, madmen made so wealthy. There are bastards green with envy who have never yet been to war, but give me some fighting wages. I'll put myself in pages. You write your goddamn history of whatever you call this war. For those who seek employment, avoiding most annoyment. Your ambition is deployment for any war that you find. By madness, grief, and wonder, fill your banks with plunder. See new worlds and murder them. Retirement is for fools. Oh, there's money made aplenty, madmen made so wealthy. There are bastards green with envy who've never yet been to war, but give me some fighting wages. I'll put myself in pages when you write the goddamn history of whatever you call this war. I've run through all the nations, fighting in all invasions, and enjoyed the great sensation when the company did prove kind. But when parting was no pleasure, I still took all the treasure. And if it ever gets too stupid, I'll find someone who pays me more. Oh, there's money made aplenty, and madmen made so wealthy. They're bastards green with envy who have never yet been to war. But give me some fighting wages. I'll put myself in pages when you write your goddamn history of whatever you call this war. They're seeking new adventure. Come on and join our venture. You'll survive this sure pain until it is time you die. If you've been a man of action, though you're lying there in traction, you'll get some satisfaction thinking, Jesus, at least I tried. Oh, there's money made aplenty, and madmen made so wealthy. They're bastards green with envy who have never yet.
This is probably going to go on for a while.
Give me some fighting wages. Put myself in pages when you write the goddamn history of whatever you call this war. We are the BlackPantsLegion, the finest in the region. We'll fight in any mess you make and always come back for more. You can always find our number. We're out here seeking plunder, and we'll hot drop down in numbers when you suddenly got a war.
Little bossa nova.
Cat, banana, cat, banana, cat, banana, cat, banana.
Two of my least favorite things.
Banana, cat, banana, cat, banana. Cat, banana, cat, banana, cat, banana, cat, banana, cat, banana, cat, banana, cat, banana. Cat, banana, 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 cat.
Okay.
Banana, cat, banana.
I am starting to doze off, and this doesn't look like it's anything other than a scroll of their supporters. Little glorious 80s music there. Tex is good for the glorious 80s music, which is appropriate given that Battletech was founded in the 80s. So I'm going to call it right there. Wait, back that up just a hair. Ho, 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 ho. Ooh. Oh, the Marauder. Phew. Yeah, I just had a big, massive chill. Oh, that's going to be an awesome one. We will have to do that one. All right. Anyway. All right. So that is Tex Talks Battletech for the Black Pants Legion. Again, one of my favorite YouTubers. He's hilarious to me. And he's got to be a guy about my age with all the 80s references, all the 80s shit. And I just love what he does. And I'm an old school BattleTech hand. Like I said earlier, this is what got me into miniatures gaming, and he just tells it in such a way that's just, I just sit here and just giggle, and it takes a lot to make me laugh. And so that's Black Pants Legion. I probably am going to start a page dedicated to the Black Pants Legion, or rather a playlist dedicated to the Black Pants Legion in BattleTech. We'll have to see what happens. All right. So, as always, I continue to thank you guys for your continued support. I thank you for your likes, subscriptions, sharing. Please continue to support the channel. I can't do any of this stuff without you guys. We're almost up to 100. 8 more and we're up to 100, which is, again, vastly more than I ever thought we'd have on this channel. Thank you guys so much. Hope you have a good night. I'll get back with you just as quick as I can. Spook, that video is coming. It will probably be the very next thing I do. And then after that, I have to keep a promise to somebody and do something that I don't know how it's going to go over too well. But I'm going to do it anyway because I got a promise to keep. All right. Catch you guys later. Bye.